Good morning, it's Nikki. Welcome to day 7. I've got my owlbear floating around, so let's see how this goes. If it is proving that it's not going to go, then I'll stop and I'll come back later. No big deal. But I want to thank you firstly for being with me over the last week and being part of Let's Get Visible. I tell you what, I've never had so many DMs, messages of people going, oh yes, that's me, morning, when it's those moments of like, I need to do something. So I've got a little diagram today. I'm not going to hold it up because my writing is quite crazy and it's not going to be useful necessarily. But if you want to grab a pen and paper and follow along, then it might be useful to follow this process. Oh, I'm so pleased. Thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Okay, so I've got a bit of it's like a circle of life moment today and what we're going to be talking about. So the first part that happens is I guess step number 1 is we're ready. Yes, come on. And you're going to, I'm going to be talking to you because this is going to be a podcast. Okay, so number 1, you know that you need to market. You know that you need to sell. You know that you need to tell people about your business. Like, we know these things. People will tell us. We've listened to you've listened to me, you've listened to oodles of people. Like, you just got to get your business out there. You got to talk to people. Who's your ideal client, etc. The circle of life. I know. I haven't even got a lion. I've got my son's bear, Sid. We could make it work. So, what you might find you doing. So, basically, all of these things that I'm saying. This is not to highlight anyone and going, oh my God, as if you've done that. I've done all of the things. That's why I'm sharing it. So firstly, I used to get my to-do list for the week. I'd be like, right, I'm going to write marketing on there. I'm going to say, get more clients. I'm going to say, build my business. And I would write those random things and I would have no idea what they meant, but I knew that I would have to do those. So I would start in that step 1. And then what would happen is I'd go into step 2, which is the ideas and the confusion. Like, I don't know what to do. Maybe this should be a blog series. Maybe I should start a podcast. Is this a video? I don't know. Maybe I should launch something. Maybe I should start a course. Maybe I should pay for something that I really don't need. Maybe I should... All of the things. All the ideas. So I'm in my son's room, so I can't show you, but I would have oodles and oodles and oodles of notebooks. Like, all the things. Scribbled down. No sense. All the ideas. Which was fine, but it was just completely confusing and they were completely unuseful. So step number 3, I would go into and I'm sorry if this is giving you anxiety as I'm talking about it. But, I'm just speaking some truth and hopefully you can take some things away from it. So step number 3, immediately I'd go into overwhelm. I'd go into overwhelm internally, like I just don't know where to start. Maybe I'm not cut out for business. How am I even going to use the time that I have available? And oh my goodness, I just feel like I was slowly drowning. And then I'd go into overwhelm externally and I would see what everybody else was doing and be like, oh my God, they've got it so sorted. And that person's just had a 10K launch and that person's just got a book deal and this has happened and all of these things. So again, being in step 4 wasn't helping me to do this. And then I would go into the lovely moment of step number 5, which was the urgency and the desperation, where I'd be like, oh my God, right. Well, I'm overwhelmed. I've got all the ideas. I've no idea what I'm doing. I've got to sell stuff now. So I'm just going to be really desperate and really stressed and think, how am I going to make my bills this month? How am I going to do this? So I would do all of that. I'd go into urgency. And then I would go into step number 6, which was fear and all the feelings like, who am I to do this? Maybe I'm not cut out for business. I have to say that kid at school told me like I was a piece of shit. And I think I'm going to believe them because they're probably right. Even though that belief is 30 years old, I'm going to believe them because they were probably true. And this is why it wasn't happening. And then what I would end up doing is finally going back to point number 1, which is, come on, Nikki, get yourself together and go back to writing marketing and selling and doing all the things. So just to recap, step number 1, I'd be in like okay, marketing. Yes, gotta do it. Yeah, Monday motivation. Woo, yeah, off we go. Step number 2, ideas, confusion. I don't know where to start, which is the thing. Wah! Number 3, complete overwhelm internally. Like maybe I don't have the confidence. Maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I should buy another course. Maybe I should do all the chuffing things. Step number 4, I was overwhelmed externally. I would compare myself to everybody else online. Maybe they've sorted. Maybe the marketplace is full. Maybe I should do something else. Maybe I should have a social media break. Maybe I should go to therapy. Maybe I should... all the things. Then I would go into urgency, desperation, feeling like I've got to suddenly shove this thing. It's like if you were going on a date and you were suddenly like, listen, if we can just decide if we're going to get married by the end of the date, that would be really good, because otherwise you're just like wasting your time. You don't want to have that energy when it comes to selling. And number 6 would be all about all the feels and the fear and who am I to do this? And then I would go back. So it's actually a full circle. And what it's important to notice, I guess, is what is going on for you. And sometimes I'm in that, like, I know I need to market and I've got a plan and I've written it all out and it's looking lovely. And actually, I don't go into this like log flume sort of helter-skelter situation. But sometimes I do. Sometimes I go into all of those sorts of things. So what I do when I'm feeling in that type situation is I go back to 3 things. These 3 things are an equilateral triangle. So if you imagine a triangle with same sides all round, morning, is on one side, I have the vision. What am I doing? What am I building? What is the aim of this game? What am I trying to do? Where am I trying to get to? So building your vision is the same as sticking in a sat-nav postcode and then going, right, hopefully I'm going to get there. Because we've all been in those cars with those drivers who are like, don't worry, love, like I don't need the sat-nav. I've got a better route. And already you're thinking, oh no, this is going to be a nightmare. And if I don't have a clear destination, and sometimes I don't know exactly what it looks like, but that vision has to be really clear. So one side of the triangle is the vision. The second is about the strategy. Where am I right now and where do I need to get to and what is that process? What does it look like? So say I was looking at something like, right, I need to market or I need to sell or I need to make a decision on something. I'd be thinking about where am I right now and where do I need to get to and what are those like 10-step things that I need to do. The third part of that lovely triangle is the mindset. And I tell you what, you can have all of the strategy in place. And we all have those people in our lives that they're like, I put it on a spreadsheet, so it's definitely doable. Like the sums make sense and it's all okay. But yet it somehow feels chaotic, or they go round in circles, or it doesn't happen the way that they want. And usually what's happened there is a mindset situation. So they've either not been aligned to it, as in like they haven't been working towards something that actually feels really good, or they have perhaps been in a situation where they haven't quite believed that it's possible, or they've had imposter syndrome, or they've been doubting themselves along the way, or feeling all the feels, and basically not being aligned. It's those moments where you watch people doing the London Marathon, and there are some people, even though they're not the fastest runner, they're going. They've got a rhythm, and they're a bit almost like, don't talk to me, I'm in a lot of pain, but I'm keeping going because I'm going to do this, and this is all going to work out. And there are some people at mile 2 who are like, I can't do it. None of my family were ever runners. I've got a knee injury. It's really hurting. It's a horrible weather day. It's that, like, they get into that mindset of it not being aligned and not being possible. So whenever you're feeling like in this circle of like, wow, I can't get what I need to do, go back. Imposter syndrome. Imposter syndrome is that sense of I'm going to get found out, or I'm not good enough, or how maybe I just got lucky. Maybe I just got lucky and, you know, it was all a big mistake and I shouldn't be here. We hear this a lot when people win awards or, you know, they start to get some success in their business. They somehow think it's a fluke and it really isn't. So if you're finding yourself, just bear with me 1 second. I can hear my daughter doing some crazy stuff. 1 sec, hang there. I'm back. My daughter is 14 months and she's in this moment where suddenly she discovers she can do brand new things. Anyway, she's literally there. I can see her. So in this circle, to stop it, to check in and go, what is going on? And again, it's not about going, I always do this. This is a nightmare. This is not for me. Maybe I shouldn't go, you know, all this stuff. It is just suddenly about grounding and going back to those 3 things. What am I trying to build? What's the end result? Because, you know, I know people will say these sort of lovely phrases of like, dream big, go for it, you know, reach for the sky, all that sort of stuff. But what does that mean to you? It might not mean living in a castle and driving a Lamborghini. Or it might. You know, you have to understand what those markers of success are for you. The second thing is that strategy. How are you going to get from A to B? Because I'm going to take a bet that it's not just going to happen. It's not just going to suddenly magically land in your lap. And that has been interesting, especially in terms of, you know, speaking or stuff that I've done. Like, I haven't just woken up and gone, oh my goodness, my email inbox is like full of amazing things. Like, it's taken a while. It's taken me meeting those opportunities halfway, being ready for the opportunity. The third thing is about that mindset. What do you need to do to align with that vision? Is it about habits? Is it about setting yourself up for the day? Is it a good morning routine? Is it not sharing your dreams with people who don't support you? It could be all manner of things. So there's the exercise for today. If you've missed this series, you can find everything that you need on my IGTV. They're all saved. Day 3 and 4 are combined as a video. But Speak Up, it's a year old, and it's some of my proudest work, I have to say, because one thing that I recognize so much in this busy online space is you've got to know how to communicate. You've got to know how to connect, to build a relationship, to build trust, the know, like, and trust factor. We know all of these things. And today I am really excited to do an additional bonus, which is, if you join Speak Up, I'm going to be helping you every single week throughout October. And there are 4 modules within Speak Up. So on the 6th of October, which I believe is Monday, you are going to get, actually, I don't know if, whatever Monday is, whatever the first Monday is of October, I will double check that. You will get some kind of task from me based on module 1, and you can send that back to me. So recently a client has signed up to work with me for 6 months. And do you know what she said in her email? She said, I want to do this because I bought a course that's going to help me do X, Y, and Z. And then I want to work with you as well to make sure I actually do the things that I've learned in the course. And this is the key. So this is why throughout October, I'm going to be helping you to do that. So say, for example, you say, right, module 1, you know, you write your speakers page or you start to build your content out or things like that. You've got me every single week to go, what do you think of this, Nikki? Does this make sense? Who am I trying to market here? All of this stuff. So if you're interested in that, come on over and find out more over on nikkiraby.com/speak up. I'm going to do a special video about this bonus as well. But there's only limited places. It's only open until Monday. So if you join before Monday, you'll be able to have that lovely sort of support. So you actually do the things that you want to do. Can't tell you, it's so embarrassing. You know, it's not embarrassing, but it's embarrassing for me when I do this as well, when I still find myself talking about the same thing, like, oh, I'm definitely going to do that this year or this month, and then it doesn't happen. And I just hate it when I just don't follow through, when I don't bet on myself, when I don't do what I say that I'm going to do. So if that's you, if you've been thinking about it for a while, if you're like sitting on the fence going, yeah, actually I'm not visible, I'm expecting people to buy from my business and nobody knows who I am or what I do, then this absolutely is for you. There's so many testimonials on that page, nikkiraby.com/speak up. And I have a number in mind of people that I can support during October, and so I'm going to close this on Monday or when I've reached my capacity. So if you want to join, get in early. And thanks so much for being part of this series and for following along. And if you've missed any of them, feel free to check them on IGTV, or they'll be on the podcast as well. All right, speak soon, and hopefully I'll see you inside the course. Bye.